These are issues we are facing every day.
Sure.
Speaking of which now coming from a Christian perspective, I feel like some of the values in Christianity can help the situation, because some of the values that sometimes you are off the faith and off are the right values, that's where you're even introducing 3 mpango wa kandos. So there are another 8 children out there, because maybe, there's the kuteleza and there's the one you go intentionally because really you have no values. And even that issue of love for your family, because the Bible says if you don't look after your family, you are cursed. So as a man, as a parent, looking after your family is godly. What can you say, even from the cases you've had, someone with values, someone with no values, are they the same? How is it even when you look at succession?
Thank you. Most of the times, a person with values tends to be more organized than a person without values. Why do I say so? And this is my personal view. It's not written anywhere in the Constitution. It's not
in the penal code.
It's not in the penal code.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. A person with values tend to be more organized. How? They love their family. Even if there is a child out of wedlock, maybe he was born before they came together. If there is none, this person tend to remain faithful to the family. Hence, there shall be no major challenges in their succession cases. However, for a person without values, you tend to find out, just as you've indicated, there are like 3, 4, 5, or even 10 mpango wa kandos and maybe 30 children. These people have difficult time because, one, they will have difficult time of proving paternity of this child, which to sometimes some children tend not to benefit.
And those ladies are looking for security.
Yes.
So they are very, very aggressive.
They are very extremely
and can really embarrass you.
Sure. Secondly, you will find that children are fighting against each other. These can be fatal sometimes. They can be very fatal, emotional. So sometimes being morally upright is the right thing to do. It's the right to do, not for yourself, not for your spouse's sake, but for your generational case. Because I feel that if today I have 1 or 2 children outside my marriage, I will have issues in future. How am I going to distribute my property? Who is going to get more? Who is going to get less? And sometimes our justice system requires us to agree on who to get what. However, if we can't do that, the same will be at the court discretion to do what? To do what? To divide these properties among us ourselves. If we can't agree, this case has to be determined. How is the court going to determine the same? So a person with values, in my opinion, as a Christian, a person with values tend to be more organized. Yeah.
Wonderful. What a conversation. I believe we are getting a better light on succession, and now we are not approaching this issue on negative light. And so maybe on your parting shots, as you look at this whole issue of succession, and maybe even as you give your parting shot, I know you're a family man, you can shout out to your family. Yes, and as you continue.
Shout out to my beloved wife, Joyce Modoni. Jua nakupenda sana, mama.
Amen.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So, a parting shot. That one word you can just come to mind, because I know you've dealt with a few cases. You've seen tears in your office, because these things are usually seriously emotional. Because people feel like they're going to lose. People feel like they are being cheated in the process. What would you advise?
Oh, good. The process is a bit tedious. We start with that. It's a bit tedious because it's good that I start with the process before coming to my advice. Because there's another part that I would like us to discuss, or else I would like to touch on as I give my advice. Whereby the process of succession is a bit tedious because you need first to look for the chief, area chief. and you get a chief's letter, you come with all the beneficiaries to the chief's office. That is the backbone of your succession. So you see, sometimes, for instance, people who live in or who reside different parts of the country have great challenges because the deceased might have properties across the country or maybe across the world. So the process is a bit tedious. Why do I say it's tedious? And what they should do. One, getting all the beneficiaries to sign. With the current world, I feel it's a bit difficult. Getting them in the same meeting is a bit difficult.
In one sitting like this?
Yes, it's a bit difficult. So what do you need to do to avoid such issues? One, you can do the will, which is going to ease this burden, because everything else can be done. With that, you just appoint the executor of your will, executor or executors. In other words, the executor is the person who is going to be your administrator, or the person who is going to administer your estate. And when I say estate here, I refer to all your properties. That is bank accounts, SACCOs, title deeds, that is parcels of land, movable properties, vehicles, shares, all those. The administrator is going to execute on your behalf. So what do you need to do if you're not doing a will? Pastor Chege, I know some families have done family companies, which is good, but my advice would be one. If you can't do a will, you should go for a family trust. I introduce a new term. A family trust is better even than a company. It's only that it's tedious, the process. It's a tedious process, it's expensive, and it takes longer than a family company. So my advice is one. If one can't do a will, they can go on the other end and do a family trust.
You incorporate everything under that?
Yes, you incorporate everything under that. And the family trust is a bit more secure because one, no member of your family or yourself who can be auctioned, let me use this term.
Wow.
Can be auctioned, or those properties can't be auctioned on your behalf or on someone else's behalf. Everyone has to bear their own
responsibility.
burden and responsibility. So this family, the family trust keeps the legacy that maybe one may feel that I need to leave this legacy to my generation. I need to create intergenerational wealth. The only way to go is through family trust. And this is witnessed in all major or wealthy families in the country. However, this is not created for wealthy families. It's important to know that
it's open for all.
Everyone. Even if I have this phone here, Pastor Chege, and I feel that this phone needs to be inherited, and it needs to be in the family trust.
Wekelea hapo.
Nawekelea pale.
Na fridge.
Bas. Yeah,
all right, thank you. You know, I like that statement. If you feel you have a legacy to leave to your generation, I think that's the whole point. We are saying all this and having all this conversation to say, all this work we are doing cannot end with us. You know, it has to be carried on. It has to be managed well. It needs to be a platform for our children now to take over from there and proceed, not now again to start less even from where we are. And I believe that's the way to go. We are so grateful, great insights. I think we've learned a lot. As he mentioned, we might not even have scratched the surface, but I know you've picked up something. I know soon enough we'll plan and even now talk more about the trust. I remember we had Wakili Miriam Washira. I think if you check online, she talked about the trust. If you check at PCA Thome online, you'll find it. But still, there's so many angles to it. So we'll also be so glad to have Wakili George with us to enlighten us more. We're so grateful that we will make time. May this JPRC week enrich us, and may the Lord be with us until we climax on Sunday, as we will be observing the JPRC Sunday. God bless you, be with you. This has been PCA Thome Online, pointing you to Jesus Christ.